Hi, I'm here to say a little something about uh, the workshop Looking Through the Eyes, which is both an older standalone workshop. It was originally a 2-day live workshop I did in Minneapolis and recorded it. And it also, similar content, but newer with videos and demos, is included as a couple of the modules in the Nest series. It came out of the first years of EMDR where um, I was trained in EMDR, immediately started uncovering dissociative clients that I hadn't been trained for, got myself to training in dissociation, and immediately tried to get Francine Shapiro's attention to the problem of dissociation. And EMDR is a dissociation finder. At first, she was not open to hearing about it because it sounded kind of woo-woo, like hypnosis or something, and she didn't want anything to do with it. She wanted EMDR accepted in the universities as a cognitive behavioral treatment. So I had a hard time getting her to take it seriously. But after a couple of years, I think she must have heard something similar from other people or something, because she did accept it. And the way she handled it was to sort of draw a clear, bright line saying that if you're working with DID clients, know how to treat them. And then the EMDR training applies to non-DID people. Well, that was good as far as it went, but it didn't go as far as we needed to go. So I was asked by Francine to do specialty trainings as part of the basic training at that time. Forget what it was called, but the names have changed over the years for the trainings promulgated by the EMDR Institute. And so I did. And I tend to draw cartoons because it meets the viewer halfway or more than halfway. And so those cartoons eventually became the book, Looking Through the Eyes of Trauma and Dissociation, an illustrated guide for EMDR therapists and clients. And it also became a 2-day workshop that I did many, many times over the decades. I teach it as part of the Nest series because the Nest series is all about all the things you need to know in getting history, doing case formulation and treatment planning for these complex clients. Some are attachment injured, some are structurally dissociative, some are somatically dissociative. So this is the piece to deal with structural dissociation and milder cases of dissociation as well. If you want more information about treating dissociation, I really have to point you to the International Society for the Study of Trauma and Dissociation. And they now have in-house basic trainings that, as I understand it, do incorporate some elements of dissociation, conceptualization and treatment in that basic EMDR training. And they also offer training in the mid, or at least point to the trainings by Madare and Coy being a former protege of mine. And that's a really good quality training, that mid assessment workshop. I really urge you to take it. Dissociation isn't evident when a new client crosses your threshold. You can't tell by looking if they're DID or not. And in fact, the whole point of being dissociative is keeping secrets from the self and the world, and it works. So we all need to know how to handle it. Much more to say about that, but then I've said it in Looking Through the Eyes, and I think it's modules 5 and 6 of the Nest series. Thanks for your interest.